Please be seated. Good morning and welcome to the Duke University School of Nursing's 2014 Hooding and Recognition Ceremony. I am Catherine Gilliss, and as the 10th Dean of the Duke University School of Nursing, I have the honor of presiding over today's ceremony. This is a very special event and one that we approach with a great sense of pride and accomplishment. In keeping with the celebratory nature of this event, we have invited a number of special guests, and I'd like to recognize those now. With us today are Dr. Marianne Fuchs. Dr. Fuchs is the Chief Nursing Officer and Patient Care Services Officer for the Duke University Health System and the Duke University Hospital, and an adjunct member of our faculty. Dr. Fuchs? Also with us today is Dr. Joan Stanley, a 1971 graduate of the Duke University School of Nursing's Bachelor of Science in Nursing program and the current president of the Duke University School of Nursing Alumni Association. Dr. Stanley? And I believe we may have with us today Gwen Waddell-Schultz, the Associate Chief of Nursing Education at the Durham VA Medical Center. Thank you. And because of the significance of her inability to be here, I'd like to acknowledge Dr. Ruby Wilson, Dean Emerita of the Duke University School of Nursing. Dr. Wilson is a fixture in our community, and because of health reasons, she is not able to be with us today. Please keep her in your thoughts and prayers. On behalf, thank you. On behalf of our faculty and staff, I offer our congratulations to today's graduates and a sincere thanks to all of their family members, friends, and loved ones who helped them to achieve this career milestone. Congratulations to everyone gathered here today. And to our faculty and staff, I offer my personal and sincere thanks for the outstanding job that you have done in guiding over 386 additional students to the completion of their degrees during this past academic year. A special congratulations to you. The Duke University School of Nursing has enjoyed a distinguished 83-year history. The dates of our origin are still somewhat up to discussion. The faculty and alumni of the school hope that our new graduates will feel a great sense of pride as you transition to your new status as an alumnus of our school. Today's graduating class includes those who have earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing and are ready to begin their careers in basic nursing. Those who have earned a Master of Science degree in nursing in order to advance their understanding in more specialized areas. Those who have completed a Doctor of Nursing Practice degree to prepare themselves to continue to lead in healthcare delivery, clinical education, and finally, those who have earned a Doctor of Philosophy in Nursing to prepare for careers in nursing science. In all cases, you move forward to educate and address people to address significant problems in healthcare delivery, in clinical leadership, and in clinical sciences. The world will be better for your commitment to addressing the big problems in healthcare today, every day that you engage in your professional work. Today's ceremony also marks the 10th anniversary of the first graduation of students from our accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. In 2004, 32 students completed our brand new program, and we accepted one small cohort of students every year. Now, as you well know, if you've been part of our community, we admit much larger classes of students in the neighborhood of 65 to 75 twice every year, and today we will graduate 141 students from the Bachelor of Science in Nursing program. Earlier this week, I was with the graduates of that same group, the ones just completing their Bachelor of Science in Nursing, as they acknowledged one another for their accomplishments and supported one another during the 16 months of their program. I was witness to their commitment to one another and impressed by the faculty's consistent sense that this class was truly exceptional for its character and accomplishments. Later that day, I read an article in the Chronicle of Higher Education that reminded me of what I had witnessed at that luncheon. The Gallup-Purdue Index Report studied a group of 30,000 graduates of American colleges and universities on issues of employment, job engagement, and well-being, and found that graduates had double the chances of being engaged in work and were 3 times as likely to be thriving in their well-being if they connected with a professor who stimulated them, cared about them, and encouraged their hopes and dreams. Now, our students and faculty members all have at least had one course in research, and so you will recognize that this reported finding could well be correlational rather than causal. But no matter, when you enroll at Duke, we expect that we will offer you a personalized educational experience that addresses your goals and your needs. And I'd like to think that this finding bodes well for all of you who are graduating from Duke today. But given the declarations of commitment to one another, we can be fairly sure that the members of the graduating Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing class of 2014 will be well employed, well engaged, and highly satisfied. I offer a special anniversary congratulations to you and to your faculty members. It's now my privilege to introduce you to Chancellor Victor Dzau. Dr. Dzau is a cardiologist who came to Duke several months ahead of me in 2004. He has served as Chancellor for Health Affairs at Duke University and President and CEO of the Duke University Health System. On July 1st of this year, he will become President of the Institute of Medicine in Washington, D.C. During the decade of our work together at Duke, Dr. Dzau has offered strong support and very good counsel to our school. Please welcome Dr. Victor Dzau.
Thank you, Dean Gilliss, and graduates, really a heartfelt congratulations. You know, this is a very special year for all of us. You heard about the 10-year of ASBN, but also importantly, Dean Gilliss is graduating with all of you as well. So let's make sure that we acknowledge your great contribution. You know, I want to be sure that I also congratulate the families, friends, and significant others in the audience, and particularly the mothers in the audience, because Mother's Day is tomorrow. So congratulations to all of you as well. I've always wanted to be on stage, and particularly on DPAC. So here I am. Got this great opportunity, so I better do a good job for all of you. Now, you know, today marks a very special and significant milestone in the graduates' professional journey as nurses. No doubt, many of you have experienced many sleepless nights, spent hours studying, stressing over exams, pushing yourself beyond what you ever thought possible, and lots of 5-hour energy or black coffee, right? But I also hope that you develop this passion and joy in finding out that what you've learned, and a deep sense of satisfaction born out of achievement, a profound appreciation for the support of friends, family, and loved ones, and of course celebrate your great achievement. And I think all of us here are very much in awe of what all you've done. Now, while there are many more questions than answers about healthcare, these days and the future of healthcare delivery, one thing I know for sure, for certain, is that nursing profession will become more important than ever. And in fact, this is the era of nurses. In 2008, the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation and the Institute of Medicine, where I will actually take up my next job, launched a 2-year initiative to respond to the need to assess and transform the nursing profession. The IOM report first appointed a committee for this initiative on the future of nursing with the purpose of producing an authoritative report that would make recommendations for action-oriented blueprint for the future of nursing. Through its deliberation, the committee developed 4 key recommendations. First, nurses should practice to the full extent of their education and training. Second, nurses should achieve high levels of education and training through an improved education system that promotes seamless academic progression. Third, nurses should be full partners, and I say full partners, with physicians and other healthcare professionals in redesigning healthcare in the United States. And fourth, the United States has the opportunity to transform its healthcare system, and nurses can and should play a fundamental role in this transformation. And I would tell you, I believe every word this report, every part of the recommendation that this report put forward. Now, to improve, however, to improve, or the power to improve the current regulatory, business, and organizational conditions does not solely rely with nurses. Everybody has to step up to the plate. Government, business, healthcare organizations, professional associations, and the insurance industry all must play a role to enable nurses to what they are trained to do. Working together, these many diverse parties can help ensure that the healthcare system provides seamless, affordable, quality care that is accessible to all and leads to improved healthcare outcomes. Based on this report and ongoing issues in healthcare reform, I really believe now, indeed, is the era of nursing. As you leave Duke and begin your careers, I would encourage you to commit to the following. First, continually rekindle your passion for nursing and healthcare. Second, think creatively and aspire to innovation in whatever field that you find yourself in. Third, be adaptive, adaptable, and embrace changes that redefine healthcare delivery today and in the future. And lastly, pursue opportunities for service to your community, to your family, and those who are less fortunate than you in the community. This is a special day. This is a special graduation day for all of us, but for me as well, because as you heard, I'll also be graduating with you from Duke and leaving on a leave of absence to become the president of the Institute of Medicine, or IOM, in Washington. This is an incredible, difficult decision for me, but called to serve this country in this role was just too important for me to turn down. At the IOM, I'll oversee a whole range of policy recommendations to Congress and country and facilitate activities that foster discussion, discovery, and cross-disciplinary thinking that are needed to effectively address the health of our nation, of our world. As you have just heard, IOM has great participation of nurses, and we will continue to welcome and include all your participation. I certainly believe, and I'll commit to you today, that this will continue, nursing will continue to play a priority role in the IOM, and certainly in my new capacity, working with all of you. So it's been a profound privilege for me to serve Duke as a Chancellor of Health Affairs for the past decade, and to have the privilege of interacting with so many talented students, and driven and passionate people. And it's a great honor for me that all of you will represent the last class of nursing graduates with whom I'll share my thoughts as Chancellor, but I certainly hope I'll see a lot of you in many other capacity. Now, I would be remiss if I don't close by recognizing, of course, the other important graduate, and that is, of course, Dean Catherine Gilliss. She's retiring from her position at the end of this academic year, and Catherine has been spectacular, no less. Yesterday I presented to trustees about my decade at Duke, and last night we celebrated the retiring deans. I think Catherine stole the show in every way. She has driven the school to such height, that I would say that, she has left big shoes to fill. This school has become the top 10 in this country in a short time, among the leaders in NIH funding, in innovation in nurses education and training, in translation research, and in patient care. She's done an exceptional job, and I want, once again, to wish her the very best in the future endeavors. Catherine. So let me close by congratulating all of you again on this very special day. I know you represent Duke, yourselves, your family and friends well as you begin your careers. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.
Well, you heard it here. You're all welcome at the IOM. Told Victor he'll be serving lunch to a lot of us. Thank you very much. And Victor, in turn, I hope it's clear from what little has been said, but what is clearly demonstrated, and that is we have benefited immensely over this decade from your strong support, as I said, and good counsel. We will miss you very much. Now, by history and tradition at this point in our program, I would be introducing you to our invited speaker. But as this ceremony closes out my 10 years as Dean at the Duke School of Nursing, I've been asked by the faculty to be that invited guest and offer inspirational remarks to you on this very special occasion. I accepted their invitation, and here I am introducing myself to you. I am truly honored, and I want to offer you, really from the perspective of an alumna, some final thoughts on endings and beginnings. Like many of you, I first came to Duke University as a student. Few members of my faculty had been to college, and it was not clear to my father why, if I wanted to study nursing, that I needed to attend college myself. I was the eldest of 3, the only girl, and the ethnic traditions of my family and the contemporary inclinations of the times would have caused a betting person to lay odds that I might finish college, but I would surely head home, marry, and raise a family. And that seemed even more certain when, before finishing college, I married my high school sweetheart and had to get permission of the dean to come back to school married. So how did all these other things come to pass? Well, shortly after our marriage, while still while I was entering my senior year at Duke University, my husband's health was seriously challenged with a cancer that is now largely manageable, but truly at the time was a deadly diagnosis. At the age of 21, I grew up quickly as I stood by him through a very aggressive year of treatment, wondering in the background, what will I do when I lose him? Looking back, I realized that stories like this often over-attribute to one factor, the power that is more accurately distributed across several influences. In fact, at the same time, many people took special interest in me, including the faculty of the Duke University School of Nursing. They were patient, kind, never prying, but always seemed to be watching to offer support to me as I might need it. And during that year, I was studying in an area that was new for me, one that I not only enjoyed, but seemed to be developing some strong aptitude for. During my senior year in college, I began to learn several important lessons about being both independent and connected. Duke offered me a good launch into the world with professional possibilities and a stronger sense of who I could be as I entered the adult world. And since returning to Duke 10 years ago, I have learned even more important lessons about being connected and being independent. And by the way, that same husband and I will celebrate our 44th wedding anniversary in just a few weeks. I'll relay that to him. Thank you. Like so many of you, we say we've been married 44 years, 35 good ones. So you may be asking yourself, what does this have to do with me, and why the heck is she telling this story at my graduation? Well, after a decade as the dean of this very special place, I'm stepping out, as you have heard, not really retiring, but stepping out of my administrative position at the end of this academic year. I've now been associated with the Duke University School of Nursing for 47 of its 83, or near 83 years, 83, 84, as I said before, we're not quite sure. But that represents nearly 60% of the life of this institution. And as my experience as the dean of this place comes to an end, I want to speak to you with the authority of a tribal elder. I want to share with you today 3 observations about our Duke community. As we end one phase of our lives at Duke and begin another, I hope that these 3 observations will help you more clearly see what you have become a part of, in hopes that you will remain connected. My first observation is that the Duke School of Nursing has long attracted students, faculty, and staff who have a common set of values. And some of those values include curiosity, the willingness to challenge the status quo, and a commitment to providing the best of whatever we do. Thelma Engels was a faculty member at Duke from July 4th, 1949 through 1961. Her name may be familiar to you because every year we honor a student with the Thelma Engels Award. And last week, we named Dr. Marilyn Orman to the Thelma Engels Distinguished Professor of Nursing. A UCLA graduate who majored in English, Thelma Engels continued her studies at the Massachusetts General Hospital to become a nurse. Her memoir, Care from the Heart, reports her reflections on returning to school in Boston from her little hometown of Redfield, South Dakota. She found the Massachusetts General Hospital program to be surprisingly repressive. The year was 1933. Her memoir describes exchanges in which she admonished her teachers that they were being too harsh to her fellow classmates, that harshness was unhelpful, and she advised the teachers on how they could be more effective in setting a clear tone and direction to her classmates. She was acting on her values. When she joined the Duke faculty in 1949, Ms. Engels concluded that nursing on the campus was not well understood. The nursing degree at the time was a Bachelor of Science in Nursing Education, and because it was an education degree, it was offered out of Duke's Department of Education. Ms. Engels faced off with faculty about how to prepare teachers of nursing here at Duke. She said to them, "Fewer rules, more creativity." And then she boldly went on to challenge the departmental admissions officers. In her book, there is a conversation that goes like this. From the admissions officer, "Thelma, I want you to know that I'm trying to help the School of Nursing. All the students that we reject from education, I'm trying to persuade to go into the School of Nursing." Some things never change. She replied, "You seem to be saying that when your poor little boy goes to school, you want to have the best person to teach him. However, if he gets sick and goes to the hospital, you really don't care who takes care of him." The admissions officer changed his tune and said, "I'll never do it again." Duke nurses speak up. They act on their values. They confront the problems that they find in the world. And I invite you, as you make this transition, to be thinking about the values that you intend to act upon. How will those values that we have nurtured here with you help you to craft your future? My second observation is that Duke has been described as a place of traditioned innovation. And I want to observe that this has been demonstrated over and over throughout the years, but I'm particularly proud of how it is being demonstrated today at our school. Our most cherished tradition is to provide excellence in education. We're constantly looking for new and better ways to provide a strong education for our students. We have offered outstanding programs for nearly a century, but are now among the foremost schools in the country in offering an educational program that includes a high level of emerging technology. We have implemented learning laboratories to enable us to teach both the art and science of nursing in a safe environment where we can rewind the tape and help you until you get it right without hurting anybody else or embarrassing yourselves. Based on our enduring commitment to take education to remote locations where the educational options are few, Duke was among the first schools of nursing to offer online degrees and continues to be one of the only programs in the country where our faculty are participating in massively open online courses, or MOOCs. Our faculty members are designing new approaches to healthcare delivery, including the prevention of readmission for people with heart failure by developing a daytime clinic to manage symptoms and return people safely to their homes, and others who are working in teams to design safe approaches to home-based bone marrow transplantation. Currently, we have faculty consulting with experts in China about the development of systems of care to support China's huge aging population, a population whose one-child policy has contributed to limited family resources for elder care. Our faculty members and students are helping to build primary care systems for AIDS-orphaned children living in the bush in Tanzania. And our faculty members and alumni are developing devices for improved delivery of respiratory care, the safe delivery of anesthesia, and the design and use of mobile devices to help support healthy behaviors. I ask our graduates, how will you innovate? When you see a problem, how will you solve it? Will you invent a workaround? Or using the principles you've learned, will you propose systematic reforms? Will you propose solutions when you see problems, or will you blame others for the fact that the problem exists? Will you be engaged and strategic? And importantly, will you be appropriately grand enough in your vision? Over 40% of our living alumni have graduated from this school during the last decade. These recent graduates, and those include all of you gathered before us, will enact traditioned innovation in ways that will differ from the past. Their innovations are likely to be more interdisciplinary in nature, incorporate more technology, be more tailored to the needs of individuals or situations, and yet more global in nature. I urge you to be leaders who look for solutions, and even to solutions to problems that have not yet appeared. My third observation is that across the years, Duke alumni have demonstrated both independence and connectedness. Duke alumni have generally held very positive views of their alma mater. Often this has been expressed in terms of having received a sound education, or seeing that the educational credential has opened doors, that the preparation itself has opened doors to professional opportunities. And for many people, the value of the alma mater is that we have helped you to establish lifelong friendships with faculty and with one another. Many early graduates did not continue their careers in nursing beyond a few years, but their affection for Duke lives on. The shape of a work life and the place of that working life within the context of life itself is highly individualized and personal. I have been impressed by the creative ways in which our alumni have used their Duke education to care for homeless teens in community settings, to develop shelters for children in Africa, to organize medical missions, to design and establish leisure communities, and even to sell real estate. I have also been impressed and sometimes saddened by the confessional moments when an alumnus has apologized to me in my capacity as dean for what they believe to be an underdeveloped professional life. Let me share with you what I believe is true. You are now well prepared for just about anything you wish to do. There are very few rights and wrongs. We believe that we are launching you with strong roots as well as wings. We hope you will feel strength, and a strength that grows over time, but that you will be connected with us when you need a boost. As for my own independence and connections, I have always felt that I owed a great deal to Duke University, and after today, you have a better understanding of just why that might be. I returned to Duke in a position of leadership to share what I had already learned during my career and to try to give back. In fact, I have learned a good deal more than I could ever have anticipated. It has been a privilege and an honor to serve as dean over the last decade and to work with such a committed and world-beating group of faculty, staff, and students. With what we have built together in this last decade, is only one chapter in a very long story. Good things came before, and much lies ahead. Today's graduates will help shape the future through their independence and connections. And who knows but that one of you might not return one day to assume the role of dean. To our graduates, I hope that you will not experience the dramatic and jarring circumstances of my early adult life, but we can be sure that you will face challenges of your own. I hope you will stand firm in your values, be innovative in seeking solutions to those challenges, and will remain both independent and connected. I hope you will feel strong and not alone. Ann Patchett's recent collection of essays entitled "This is the Story of a Happy Marriage" includes an essay about establishing an independent bookstore in her own hometown of Nashville, a feat that certainly was challenging in the era of the corporate bookstore. She details the obstacles and risks she took in moving ahead with what has been a very successful venture, and she concludes her essay by offering the following simple advice. This is how we change the world. We grab hold of it, and we change ourselves. I do suspect, after completing the programs you celebrate today, that you are well on your way to changing the world. Your ending will now become a beginning. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I now have the privilege of introducing you to Laurie Jeffers. Dr. Jeffers has been selected to speak on behalf of all of our graduating students. Dr. Jeffers is a May 2014 DNP candidate, and during her program of studies, completed a capstone project that is listed in your program. This project was designed as a quality improvement project aimed at standardizing care for menopausal women in a private practice setting. Dr. Jeffers currently has her own practice caring for well women, and she is an adjunct faculty member in the Family Nurse Practitioner program at New York University in New York City. Welcome, Dr. Jeffers.
I stand before you today with a great sense of honor and a tremendous sense of humility, combined with not a small amount of sheer terror. These emotions spring from the fact that this morning I am surrounded by faculty, colleagues, and fellow students who represent a group of the most accomplished, intelligent, and compassionate professionals that anyone here or elsewhere has ever seen. Today, I, as perhaps many of you, must ask myself, how did I get here? For most of us, the answer to that question may not be as simple as it sounds. How did we end up at Duke? For me, a professional used to protecting the confidentiality of contacts, I can only say I ended up here in part because of someone named Cheryl. I was admitted to a program at an Ivy League institution in the Northeast, 1 hour from my home. And instead, I chose Duke, partly because of a personal experience I had during a very expensive cab ride from RDU Airport on my way to interview for this very program. My flight had been delayed, and I was concerned about missing the first portion of this important program that Duke had arranged for all of the candidates. I made a call to a contact number I had been given from the agenda sheet of this extremely organized day, and my call was answered on the first ring. The woman who answered my call, this woman whose name was Cheryl, seemed to know exactly who I was and was not particularly worried about the fact that I might miss part of the program, but instead appeared very concerned that I might miss the luncheon. After all, it was lunchtime, this is the South, and actually, with all those New York City flight delays, I was in fact really very hungry. Cheryl told me exactly where to have the cab drop me off, and then she proceeded to meet me at the door with a tag that had my name on it. She personally escorted me to the room where the presentation was taking place. She introduced me to everyone in the room, and before she left, she made sure I had one of the now infamous Duke box lunches and a drink to go with it. These may sound like small gestures, but for me, as well as for my fellow students, it is these types of small gestures repeated over and over again by everyone we come into contact with here at Duke that has made all the difference. These gestures, combined with the opportunity to receive a world-class education in an exceedingly intellectually stimulating environment, have indeed brought us, tired but happy, to this very place, this very stage today. Our education here has been a blend of everything an excellent education should be, but is often not. Academic distinction combined with a passion for students' learning and a passion for their personal and professional growth, an experience that is global in its perspective, but very personal in its delivery. In spite of all this excellence, however, the path we have chosen here has certainly not been an easy one. After all, this is not a program for the faint of heart or the intellectually lazy. This program, like life itself, had the capacity to kick our butts and break our hearts at times. The past 16 to 36 months for the students here have been a grueling testament to the human spirit and its capacity to evolve, adapt, and endure. No matter which of these fine programs we chose, there were not many breaks. And so sometimes the greatest act of courage for each of us became the act of getting out of bed each morning and doing it all over again. Sometimes what we really needed was a break from one more paper, one more forum, one more clinical day. A break from the fevers of our children, from the seemingly endless amount of snow days, a break from the responsibility of caring for aging parents while holding a job. After all, life did not stop because we chose to further our education. One winter day, which I still recall very clearly, the hardship of pursuing a greater purpose was brought into sharp focus for me. I was trying to finish my defense presentation and write my manuscript while both phones were ringing. On one phone was the appliance shop telling me how much it would cost to repair or replace the 2 appliances that had broken down simultaneously that morning. On the other phone was Anthony's Auto Body Shop, informing me that the little accident my teenager had been in the day before had succeeded in totaling his car. Later that very same day, I suffered a complete laptop crash, the cause of which was subsequently traced to a kung fu movie my other son had downloaded onto my laptop the very same week I had uploaded all of my capstone data onto it. But we love our families. Love them. Have no doubt about that. Without them, none of us would be standing here today. It's just that those little breaks that we did not get added up to a certain level of anxiety and stress that seemed overwhelming at times. And once in a while, we felt that what we really might need, in addition to a very strong cup of coffee, was perhaps a highly skilled Duke nurse anesthetist to put us under anesthesia and relieve our suffering, if only for a few hours. So the question today becomes not how did we do this, as so many of our friends have asked, but why did we do it? I think the answer lies in the reason people choose the healthcare professions in general and the nursing profession in particular. We are doing nothing less than seeking meaning in our work. As one of my student colleagues put it, being a corporate attorney was what I did, but it was not who I was. Being a palliative care nurse practitioner is who I am. It is a daily endurance test focused on sacrificing self, disregarding pride, and risking heartbreak. Let there be no doubt, this work has a cost. Every day, by being willing to go down in the trenches with our patients, we risk a lot. But by not doing this work, we risk even more. In 2001, the Institute of Medicine issued a landmark report, Crossing the Quality Chasm. This report revealed that the U.S. healthcare system does not provide consistent, high-quality care to all people. It rightly stated that Americans should be able to count on receiving care that meets their needs and is based on the most recent scientific knowledge available. Yet this report also presented strong evidence that this is frequently not the case. Healthcare harms patients too frequently and routinely fails to deliver many of its potential benefits. In its now infamous summary statement, the IOM concluded, indeed, between the healthcare that we now have and the healthcare that we could have lies not just a gap, but a chasm. It is into this wide, gaping chasm that too many of our patients continue to fall even 13 years later. As the complexity of healthcare is increased, so has its fragmentation. Our healthcare system has fallen short of the ability to translate knowledge into practice and complex technology into care that is standardized, safe, and patient-centered. In spite of the fact that most diseases and chronic illnesses are preventable, we still operate from mostly a disease-based model of care instead of a preventive-based model of health. This is unacceptable and cannot continue. In 2011, Atul Gawande, a noted physician and author, gave the commencement address at Harvard Medical School. In it, he said this: 2 million patients pick up infections in American hospitals, mostly because someone did not follow basic hand-washing precautions. 40% of coronary heart disease patients and 60% of asthma patients receive incomplete or inappropriate care. Half of major surgical complications are avoidable with existing knowledge. Gawande spoke of the need to change physician value systems to include the humility to know that no matter how smart you are, You will make a mistake. You will fail. He spoke of the need to standardize care, to begin doing the same things the same way each and every time, as a way to reduce these failures and mistakes. Lastly, he spoke of teamwork, which he defined as the recognition that others can save you from failure no matter who they are in the hierarchy. Now, I am a great admirer of Atul Gawande and his work, but while this speech was considered transformational stuff to those graduating medical students, there is nothing in it I can really call new in terms of the nursing profession. And I'm not talking about hand washing. I'm talking about humility, about the importance of patient-centered care, and about the critical need for team-based care across all disciplines. This is what nursing has been about since its inception. This has always been our trademark. The medical profession has also been talking a lot about the coming physician shortage and how incredibly scary this will be. Are you afraid? Because I'm not. Every day, thousands of patients are safely put under anesthesia by certified nurse anesthetists. Hundreds of babies are safely delivered by certified nurse midwives. Tens of thousands of patients with diabetes, heart disease, asthma, obesity, and other chronic preventable conditions are taken care of by highly skilled nurses in advanced practice across all specialties. Those very dangerous hospitals in the US, nurses are assigned to those patients 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. In fact, if a patient did not require nursing care, they would not need to be in a hospital at all. We are there to keep patients safe and to get them well. In fact, a lot of us standing here today could not finish this program without completing projects which focused on ways to standardize care, ways to keep patients safer and to make health care better by making it higher in quality and lower in cost, making it more efficient and equitable by reaching all populations and decreasing the fragmentation that has arisen out of the complexity. But there is much work to be done. Nursing must rise to the challenge of being the force of change behind the transformation of our current healthcare system, and we must never, ever give up. We must also never, ever give in. I am far more concerned about the invisibility of the care nurses deliver than I am about the predicted physician shortage. We have the goods, we have the skills, the education, the training. We are a patient's best chance for receiving the care they so richly deserve. This program has helped us to find our voice, but for change to happen on a national level, we need to not only find our voice, we need to use it. We need to make sure we are heard loud and clear. Making sure we are heard loud and clear entails being fully partnered with physicians and other healthcare professionals in delivering new models of healthcare that are both team-based and patient-centered. This will require hard work, vision, and the ability for nursing to function in its full scope of practice across all specialties and across all states. From our education in Duke, we have gained this expertise and this vision. We have found our voice. However, with the great opportunity that this education symbolizes comes an even greater responsibility, the responsibility to make change happen by playing a pivotal role in the transformation of our nation's health. In 2008, the noted author Barbara Kingsolver delivered the commencement address to Duke's graduating class. In it, she mentioned some things that I believe are fitting, considering the cusp of transformation nursing finds itself on. She said, "We have done hard things before, and every time it took a terrible fight between people who could not imagine changing the rules and those who said, 'We already did. We have made the world new.' The hardest part will be to convince yourself of the possibilities and hang on. The ridiculously earnest are known to travel in groups, and they are known to change the world." This is the most intelligent, compassionate, and earnest group of people I have ever had the privilege of being surrounded by. Now comes the hard part where we change the world. Thank you.
You might say she stole the show. But as a token of our appreciation, I want to thank you, Lori Jeffers, and present to you a commemorative medallion that will note your selection as this year's Hooding and Recognition Student Speaker. Thank you very
so
much.
Thank you.
Each year, the school recognizes students for their academic and clinical excellence. Many of those student awards were presented yesterday at our annual Faculty, Staff, and Student Awards ceremony. The description of each award is listed in your program, but I'd like to just take a moment to, again, congratulate these students and ask them to stand when we read their names. Annie Beery Bieber Award for Outstanding Leadership was awarded to Christopher Thomas Reed. The Outstanding DNP Capstone Project Awards were given to Catherine Jean Evans and Karen Elizabeth Warner. The Ruby L. Wilson Excellence in Clinical Practice Award was given to Jonathan Ronald Medina Beckwith. The Thelma Ingalls Award was given to Kevin Patrick Momber. The Distinguished Dissertation Award was given to Judith Ann Adams. And the Bonnie Jones Friedman Humanitarian Award to Benjamin Allison Hocutt. Congratulations to all these students. We now move into the portion of our program where we will begin to present to you our graduates. At this time, yes, you can do that. This is why you came. At this time, we're going to recognize the students who have earned the Doctor of Philosophy, the Doctor of Nursing Practice, the Master of Science in Nursing, our certificate awardees, and finally, the Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing degrees. Joining me on stage to congratulate our graduates is Dr. Elizabeth Merwin, the school's Executive Vice Dean. We'll begin by recognizing our PhD graduates, who will be named by Dr. Deborah Brandon, who is the PhD Program Director. Dr. Brandon. Is that a surprise? Is that a surprise? Oh, okay.
Thank you, Dean Gilliss. It's my pleasure to present the Duke School of Nursing graduates for the PhD degree. Each PhD graduate will come forward and be hooded today with assistance from two faculty members. The first is the faculty member who chaired the dissertation committee, and the second is the faculty member who serves as chair of the PhD program committee, Dr. Kirsten Corazzini. The name of each graduate, their faculty dissertation chair, and the dissertation title appear in your printed program. Judith Ann Adams. Over there. Looks like Kirsten. Yeah. Over there. Over to the middle, Chip. Congratulations, Dr. Adams. Jennifer Rebecca Day. Congratulations, Dr. Day. I now call Dr. Barbara Turner, DNP Program Director, to the podium.
Thank you, Dr. Brandon. It's my pleasure to present the graduates for the Doctor of Nursing Practice degree. These graduates have been prepared to lead in the healthcare system of the future. They will bring solutions to the gaps in care, and they will evaluate current practices, looking for opportunities for improvement. Each DNP graduate will come forward and be hooded today with the assistance from 2 faculty members. The first is the faculty member who chaired their final capstone project. The second is the chair of the DNP Program Committee, Dr. Marilyn Hockenberry. The name of each graduate, their project, and the faculty capstone chair are listed in your program. Crystal Sue Hambley. Congratulations, Dr. Hambley. Chris Davis Nevin. Congratulations, Dr. Nevin. Christina Michelle Roberson. Congratulations, Dr. Roberson. Kamisha Latasha Thomas. Congratulations, Dr. Thomas. Luisa Solar Gonzalez. Congratulations, Dr. Gonzalez. Renee E. Edkins. Congratulations, Dr. Edkins. LaShonda Collins Cobbs, Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army. Congratulations, Dr. Cobbs. Robin Nicole Gasparini. Congratulations, Dr. Gasparini. Carissa Marie Leclerc. Congratulations, Dr. Leclerc. Good. Shinari Hope Ahabushi. Congratulations, Dr. Buchiana Bukic. Hillary Manella. Congratulations, Dr. Manella. Davis Michael Graham. Congratulations, Dr. Graham. Jill Renee Engel. Congratulations, Dr. Engel. Emily McClanahan Funk. Congratulations, Dr. Funk. Victoria Di Lorenzo Orto. Congratulations, Dr. Orto. Allison Bell. Congratulations, Dr. Bell. Rebecca K. Captain. Congratulations, Dr. Captain. Elizabeth Ann Duffy. Congratulations, Dr. Duffy. Catherine Marie Ward Presson. Congratulations, Dr. Ward Presson. Margaret Wood. Congratulations, Dr. Wood. Melody Ann Rose. Congratulations, Dr. Rose. Candace McKell Whiting. Congratulations, Dr. Whiting. Tanisha Moras Lambeth. Congratulations, Dr. Lambeth. Frances M. Kavanaugh. Congratulations, Dr. Kavanaugh. Jenny Chong Dagagni. Congratulations, Dr. Dagagni. Christine Shadler Todd. Congratulations, Dr. Todd. Sheila Noreen Escherson. Congratulations, Dr. Atchison. Teresa Gonzalez Dowell. Congratulations, Dr. Dowell. Catherine S. Lytle. Congratulations, Dr. Lytle. Lori S. Jeffers. Congratulations, Dr. Jeffers. Sonia Lee Kuntz. Congratulations, Dr. Kuntz. Pamela Jean Hill Bernacki.
Congratulations, Dr. Bernacki. Darla K. Topley. Congratulations, Dr. Topley. Karen Elizabeth Warner, Captain, United States Navy. Congratulations, Dr. Warner. Shel Zhaodong Yin. Congratulations, Dr. Jin. Andy Nicole Rice.
Congratulations, Dr. Rice. Gerald B. Wallace, Lieutenant Commander, United States Navy. Congratulations, Dr. Wallace. Catherine Jean Evans. Congratulations, Dr. Evans. Deborah Chastain Blankenship. Congratulations, Dr. Blankenship. Cindy Latrice Roberts, Major, United States Army. Congratulations, Dr. Roberts. Congratulations, DNP graduates. I'll now call upon Dr. Michael Zakowicz, the MSN Program Director, to the podium. Dr. Zakowicz?
Thank you, Dr. Turner. It's my pleasure to present the graduates for the Masters of Science in Nursing and certificate awardees. The specialties that have been completed by each graduate will be announced, and graduates will be greeted by Dr. Joan Stanley, Alumni Association President, and Associate Professor, and MSN Faculty Leader, Dr. Valerie Sable. Nadia Campos de Andrade. Catherine Ann Arshett. Amanda Claire Bandy. Casey Leah Bayless. Stephanie Leanne Bierman. Susan Laurie Bell. Jennifer Maria Bennett. William Andrew Biesenar. Mary Elizabeth Blessing. Jonah Lynn Blum. Stephanie Joan Brewer. Nina Brooks Hundley. Jacqueline Setford Brown. Martha E. Brucker. Marla Ruth Capes. Suzanne Noel Carr. Kenya Chavez Gomez. Ashley May Clark. Monica Lee Clark Covert. Yeshu Khan. Mark R. Constable. Lindsay Ann Cronin. Laura Ashley David. Amanda Marie Davidson. Amanda J. Davis. Christina Brown Deloach. Neha Desai. Andrew Disser. Christina Janina Dixon. Deborah Maria Even. Melissa Marie Fike. Mabel Fry Fambu. Sarah Jonas Garrow. Brooke Elizabeth Goodwin. Jacqueline Elmore Goza. Ingrid Mary Gunther. Margaret Elizabeth Harding. Allison Denise Harrison. Heather Christine Hevlin. Kate Lynn Hetzer. Miranda Ammons Hilburn. Megan Kathleen Hill. Hi. Jessica Ellis Hill. Andrea Nicole Hillman. Benjamin Allison Hokut. Jennifer Ann Hodge. Paul William Hoffman. Christina Lorraine Howard. Ethany Elizabeth Howden. UK Ben Iroha. Andrea Lynn Jack. Lauren Nicole Jackson. Mary Nicole John. Angela McLean Johnson. Erica DeCom. Lydia Joy Kern. Beverly Cox King. Tanya Jo Kinzinger. Laura Maria Konichnia. Beth L. Kudrick. Eunhee Grace Kwan. Fransley James Leroy. Michael Scott McKeekern, Captain, U.S. Army. Kimberly Christine Massey. Gwendolyn Garcia McKinnon. Kristen Kraus McMillan. Abigail Lisa Milliken. William Christopher Moore. Kathleen A. Morrow. Leanne Neal. Chima Ahianako Okum. Melissa Catherine Oldham. Jeremiah Jacob Olivas. Grace Catherine Ostin. Christina Zapko Page. Candace Marie Parks. Jamila Annette Pelham. Autumn Kirsten Peterson. Libya Baby Punelli. Rebecca Ann Porter. Mary May Pratt. Carrie A. Pritchard. Amber Cox Rafferty. Richard C. Rayner. Ashley McLean Redmond. Christopher Thomas Reed. Christy Lynn Reynolds. Sandra Ann Richardson. Richard Andrew Rosebrock. Elizabeth Frick Ross. Casey Donnell Ruffing. Amy E. Ryan. Angelica Salazar. Mallory Gale Salter. Lynetta Marie Shoup. Roxanne Jackie Singer Giorgio. Brandy Nicole Snow. Jane Elizabeth Snowden. Ashley D. Sprouse. Samira Tabrizi. Mimi Jennifer Ta. Heather Elswick Thornburg. Elizabeth Smith Umar. Nancy Hall Vogler. Elizabeth Ann Walton. Natalie Paige Watana Siriroch. Allison E. Whalen. Courtney R. Wheeler. Abigail K. White. Conrad Withrow. Teresa Workman. Christine Suzanne Anderson. Melissa L. Marsh. Holly Marie Wilson. That concludes the presentation of the master's and graduate certificates. Congratulations, everyone. I now call upon Dr. Michael Relf, Assistant Dean of Undergraduate Education and ABSN Program Director, to come to the podium.
It is my pleasure to begin the presentation of graduates for the Accelerated Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree. Graduates will be greeted by Dr. Joan Stanley, President of the Duke University School of Alumni Association, and ABSN Assistant Professor and Faculty Leader, Dr. Kathy Turner. As each student's name is read, they will be presented with the Duke University School of Nursing pin. This gold pin serves as a symbolic welcome to the nursing profession and signifies student academic program completion. Jaylene Liana Acevedo. Patricia Ida Alonzo. Dana Marie Alvarado. Antoinette Dornumle Acher. Elizabeth Haley Axelson. Mercy Barago. Michelle Bruin. Morgan Vandrell Cameron. Ryan Daniel Cedarmark. Amy Broderick Child. Michael Kong Choi. Kirsten Colleen Cody. Justin Matthew Cornwallis. Catherine Elizabeth Crabtree. Elizabeth Lee Dagenhart. Carice Starr Davis. Stephanie Marie Edwards Lachu. Angela Dawn Estes. Gabriella Chantilla Evans. Emily Christine Fee. Kathleen Dare Fitzpatrick. Avon Proctor Garms. Stephen Robert Gerard. Meredith Virginia Gibney. Erin Elizabeth Gooden. Claire Jean Goodwin. Jana Michelle Grintime. Emily Nicole Gwynn. Travis Ian Hallquist. Kristen Virginia Hassett. Elizabeth Michelle Holling. Rachel Ann Holmes. Sarah Blackburn Jones. Sarah Manning Jordan. Erica Julian. Elizabeth Ann Kennard. Michelle Alicia Kinkle. Catherine Katie Michelle Kefjan. Daniel Vincent Sarami Lakambakal. Ann Hayes Lee. Amy Alice Liljestrand. Kimberly Nicole Martinuk. Rachel Elizabeth Masterman. Erica Jones McRoberts. Brett Winters Meager. Jonathan Ronald Medina Beckwith. Kyra Nicole Miller. Monica Giovanna Manari. Alberto Jose Moreno Gutierrez. Olivia Jane Morris. Jessica Catherine Mullen. Kristen Marie Murphy. Anne Madeline Navarro. Ni Zhao. Carrie Elizabeth Nose. Alana May Oakes. Keith Earl Pardue. Magna Patel. Aquia Pepra. Lindsay Meredith Peterson. Pamela Lynn Phillips. Catherine Burns Pittman. Dana Noel Robinson. Carrie Lynn Saunders. Julia M. Shapiro. Jenny Kirsten Smith. Tracy Ann Smith. Dawn K. Spajensky. E.Y. Fujiran and Durrance Upongwan. Ellen Urbanowitz. Claire Fundavala. Casey Vonsward. Ryan Matthew Virgil. Samantha Cochran Weinhold. Laura Wilhoit White. Paige Catherine Warden. Mia Wyatt. Emily Grace Euro. Please join me in congratulating all of today's graduates.
Oh, it's a good day. And I'm officially going to let most of you take the rest of the day off after we're through here. Before we close our program, I would like to call upon a person you've been introduced to a few times, Dr. Joan Stanley, who serves as the president of our Nursing Alumni Association. Joan, would you come forward, please?
Thank you. Dean Gilliss, special guests, faculty, but particularly all of the graduates and your family and your friends and very supportive friends and family. This is definitely an exciting day, not only because you're graduating, but also, as you heard from Dr. Dzau, that this is nursing's time, and we need all of you, every single graduate, to step up and take advantage of this and grab hold of the opportunities. On behalf of the Duke University School of Nursing Alumni Association, I am proud to be with you today to recognize and congratulate each of you on your extraordinary academic achievements, and to welcome you into a new chapter of your life and career as a Duke alum. Doesn't that sound great? Whether you are a DNP, a PhD, an MSN, or an ABSN graduate, you are now part of an exceptional, informal and formal network. Take advantage of this tremendous resource. As I travel around the country, I meet Duke nursing alumni who are making a significant impact on nursing and healthcare. It is our hope that your connection to Duke and to the Alumni Association is a lifelong relationship, and the memories you have had as students will be enhanced with the memories and experiences you create as alumni. You will each be receiving a small token of the Nursing Alumni Association gratitude and welcoming. I hope you wear it with pride to announce to the world that you are a Duke alumni. As you move forward in your professional lives, I hope that you will do so as a proud alumnus of this distinguished school and university. Congratulations to all you Duke alumni.